Thank you for pronouncing my name. I know it's very difficult. Not even my colleagues know how to pronounce my name. Good morning, everyone. Nice to see you all here. Thank you for coming. It's always great to see such many people in a session. My name is Michel Ruefenacht, okay? I'm the VP of Marketing at CyberGuru, and today I have the privilege to talk to you about the next evolution of security awareness training, which we call real-time awareness. Oh, I don't have the clicker. Should I have a clicker? No? It's here. Thank you very much. All right. Now, before we dive in, for those who don't know us, we are a scale-up that was born here in Rome, okay? We were born here in Rome in 2017, founded by Gianni Baroni, who is still our CEO. And why did Gianni found CyberGuru in 2017? It was because there was a huge problem in 2017, which is still a huge problem today, and that is the behavior of the people in your organization when they face cyber threats, okay? So, a little bit about us. We have 1.5 million active users on our platform. We have more than 1,500 customers in Italy, Spain, and France. And we do sell through our partner network of more than 300 qualified partners. Now, a little bit about, accolades and recognition from or for CyberGuru. We've been named a CSAT leader, which is a testimony for, our excellent customer service. And then we have been named and recognized by the Time magazine for being a top EdTech company. We've been named several times by the Sifted magazine for a fast-growing company. We won the Global InfoSec Award, but most importantly, we're the only ACN-accredited security awareness training platform for the Italian public administration. Apologies for this self-referential slide, but as a VP of marketing, sometimes you have to do what you have to do. All right, let's dive in to the key pain points that the CISOs of our 1,500 customers have been telling us over the last year. One of the biggest pain points we hear all the time, number one, is fragmented tools. So you guys have a lot of tools to manage, and it's not different for security awareness training, right? You have to purchase this tool, you have to set up these tools, you have to run these tools, you have to maintain these tools, and there's just too many. And one CISO one day told me, Michel, if you could bring all these different tools that you see in all these different platforms for security awareness training in one platform, it would solve a lot of my headache. Guess what? This is exactly what we're doing at CyberGuru. More about that later. Number two, limited behavior change. So we had CISOs coming to us and telling us, okay, I have implemented the security awareness training program, but it solves my compliance issues, but it doesn't really change the behavior of my people. Now, guess what? This is, solutions that have been implemented, not by us, but by our competitors. Now, we have a solution for that as well. And the third, biggest pain point we're hearing from security leaders across this region is drained resources. Limited resources, drained resources. I think this is, a constant. I think in the last 20 years in the industry I've been in, this is a constant, and I don't think it will ever change. You guys have limited budget, limited people to run, all your security stack, and this is the biggest, the third biggest pain point. Now, let's have a look at how CyberGuru is solving for these challenges. And basically, it all starts with the brain. Why? Because our behaviors are shaped by these three areas of the brain that you see here. The first one is the neocortex, or the thinking brain, as we like to call it. This is where, the brain is responsible for knowledge and reasoning. The second part of the brain is the limbic system. The limbic system is the emotional part of the brain. And it's responsible for your feelings and for your motivation. And the third part of the brain is the reptilian brain, or the instinctive brain. And that part of the brain tells you what to do when you face danger, right? Now let's talk about our Evolve methodology, which is basically the foundation of all our training programs, because it does act on these three areas of the brain. And our first program is the cognitive training, talking to the thinking part of the brain, where we do have, we transfer knowledge to the users, and we also use repetition to anchor that knowledge in the users. So this is our core awareness training program. Then we have our inductive training, which talks to the emotions of the brain, right? There we use real life case studies where we show the users, yes, it can happen to you, and this is in the form of Netflix-like series that the users can watch. This is what we call our channel training program. And then at last we have our experiential training. Our experiential training is basically preparing, getting the user ready for the real life, phishing attacks. And this is our phishing engine. And in this phishing engine, we simulate phishing attacks, which are, personalized and localized for the user. So our phishing engine. Now, all these three areas form what we call the preventive approach, right? All these three training programs work in synergy to give you all the knowledge and prepare you for, the real life attacks. However, what we found over the years is, although this is very effective, it has some limitations. Why? Because human beings are not perfect, far from that, and they're really, really hard to patch. And that is especially true in certain situations, right? Imagine this. It's Friday evening, just before your vacation, right? And you get that email from your IT department asking you to change your password within the next hours, right? Otherwise, your account will be locked. Now, it's Friday evening. Your backlog is huge. You have to go through all your tasks, your emails, and all that stuff, because before you can close your laptop and go on vacation, right? You're under a stress situation, and guess what happens there? We told you everything in the preventive approach. We told you to think before acting. We told you, yes, it could happen to you. Look at these emails. It could be a phishing email. We told you all that, but in that particular moment, it fails. And why it fails? It fails because your cognitive bias is telling you not to think, but to act, to save you time. And this is, and so you click on that email, and that's exactly where our real-time approach kicks in. And our real-time approach is basically here to add another layer of security awareness and to make sure that you stay vigilant, right? In that real-time approach, we have three products, which we call Smart Banners, Browser Defender, and Cyber Advisor. And I'll explain you where they fit in our overall portfolio just now. Right, I spoke about preventive awareness, and you see our awareness e-learning modules. These are short e-learning modules for the users, which you can combine with our chatbot, which you see here, awareness chatbot. It's a chatbot that lives on Teams, on Slack, or web-based, and you can combine these two. We have our channel program, which are our Netflix-like series, and underneath you see our phishing training. Obviously there we use AI and machine learning to give, phishing emails to the users, which are localized, personalized, and by the way, it's not only emails, we can do also SMS, QR codes, USB baiting, and also video attacks, right? Now these two blocks represent our preventive awareness approach. Underneath, you see the real-time awareness. What do we have in there? We have email smart banners and browser defender. And then on the right is cyber advisor. Email smart banners, what are those? Basically, it's another level of awareness we introduce in your emails in the form of a color-coded banner on only some of your emails, obviously, the ones that look suspicious, and it gives the user another level of awareness. Now you might think, why do I need this? Well, you might know that most email security gateways or anti-spam solutions are not bulletproof, right? They rely on statistic rules, they need to be updated, they rely on threat intelligence, and hence they let these emails go through. Whereas our smart banners work in real time, and they do analyze these emails in real time. We use 40 data points to actually look what is in the email, and we alert the user based on what we see in those emails. Some use cases for smart banners are employee impersonation, user impersonation, brand impersonations, or, for example, newly created domain in the last minutes or hours. One thing that is important to note here is that we're not blocking the emails, okay? We're just giving another layer of awareness to the end user so we can empower the end user to take the right decision. Then we have Browser Defender. Browser Defender is, as the name suggests, a browser plugin. It works on every Chromium-based browsers. And the use cases for Browser Defender is to prevent the users to do bad things. So, such as when they go on a public website that might be suspicious, the user gets alerted. Or if the user tries to download files that haven't been approved by the IT department, he also gets alerted. And the third use case is if the end user tries to reuse his company credentials in a public website, such as Netflix, Amazon, etc. And on the right, you have the Cyber Advisor. Now, the Cyber Advisor is your cybersecurity assistant. The Cyber Advisor knows everything about our training programs. He has all that knowledge, and the users can ask him any question about cybersecurity if they're unsure. The Cyber Advisor can also have your company policies. So, an example, you can use your own company policy about password managers. And when the user will ask, what password manager should I use? Obviously, he will get the response that the IT admin has given the Cyber Advisor. Another use case, you can send emails to the Cyber Advisor. If you're not sure about that email you got, it doesn't have smart banners, if there is no alert, send it to the Cyber Advisor, and the Cyber Advisor will give you his view or his advice about that email. Right. Now, let me get to the final slide here, and the 3 pain points we're talking about at the beginning, we like to think that we can solve them by having one of the most comprehensive platforms on the market. We have more than 10 training programs localized in 20 different languages/countries, because everything we do is really translated, localized, and not subtitled. We like to think that we have the most effective platform. We have end-user engagement rates of above 76% across all our users on the platform. But most importantly, that engagement also leads to a change in behavior, which we can see in the click rates decreasing over time. And at last, we hope that our platform is really effortless for the security teams out there. All our programs are automated, our training programs are automated. You can, but you don't have to go and select which campaigns you want to run. It's all there and automated. Our phishing engine is completely automated through AI and machine learning. So all your users will get different emails, and it's, the engine will learn over time about the users. So you don't have to really spend a lot of time and resources to run this platform. And my final takeaway for today is for the ones that are starting a security awareness training program. First of all, bravo, it's good to start one, but most importantly, never stop. Why? I'll make an analogy for when you go to the gym to get fit, right? You go to the gym to get fit, you want to eventually lose your belly. When you stop going to the gym and you stop exercising, what happens? Comes back. And that's exactly the same for the behaviors of the people in your organization. So start, but as soon as you stop, they will fall back in their old behaviors. So please start and never stop. Thank you, and if you want to see our products, I will see you at our booth.